Hey, hi, hello, and welcome back to Stacks of Wax Volume 21. For those of you who do not know, this is the show where I go through my record collection A through Z and just kind of show off some of the cool pieces of vinyl that I own. Some are exciting and some are dull, but hey, that's the excitement of the video. So let's not waste any more time, get right into things here, starting off with Ecostrike, A Truth We Still Believe. This came off of Triple B Records a couple of years back. I think this thing kicks ass, really good straight edge hardcore. Get it on this really good looking bluish green. It's kind of hard to tell. The light does an okay job here. It's not perfect, but it does look really nice. I like the deep and darkness of the color itself, because when you get the light shining through, it looks pretty fucking badass. But yeah, the packaging, the rest of it at least, is, it's okay. Nothing too crazy here. Definitely recommend checking this out if you're into straight edge at all. You'll probably find a couple tracks on here that you will like. But yeah, Ecostrike, pretty badass. Definitely give this one a spin if you get a chance to. Another great recent hardcore release. This is Ekulu, Unscrew My Head. I actually bought this at their show with Turnstile back, was it last May? God, almost a year ago at this point. Holy crap, that's crazy. But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, this is just the black reissue. Yes, it is. I was correct. I mean, their blend of hardcore and metal on this record is awesome. I mean, if you're looking for like a weirder, newer version of like Metallica, I guess you could say, I would check this out. At least if you want something more than Metallica with like a harder edge, that's kind of what Ekulu is doing here. I don't know, thrash metal is pretty dope. I hope we get a new record from Ekulu soon, because they've kind of been on a warpath over the past couple of years, and I don't want them to let up because they've been putting out some killer material, and well, why stop now? Now we have a pretty amazing, actually I would consider to be one of the best stoner metal releases of all time. That'll be Electric Wizard with Dope Throne. This is the brand new reissue that just came out like a couple months ago. I bought this new at the record store as soon as it dropped. I've been wanting to get my hands on this LP for a long time now. I listened to it quite a bit even before I bought it on vinyl. Get this awesome, well-made gatefold here. The packaging itself is really well done. Everything's heavy, it's got weight to it, you know, you can tell it's quality material. The records themselves though, I'm pretty sure, yeah, okay, I was right. So I know it kind of looks black, but it also kind of doesn't. That's almost like because it's a really super dark green see-through. It's almost like a dark like camo green. I wish there was like a better angle to show it off. It looks a lot better like in real life than it does on video, at least, because at least from my angle that I'm looking at, it kind of looks brown. That's not the case. It's like green. Oh no, it's a pretty well done reissue. I think the pressing itself sounds pretty damn good. I don't obviously have an older copy to compare it to or anything like that, but it seems pretty darn true to the streamable versions that I've listened to a ton of times before. Yeah, Rise Above did a really solid job with this reissue. Big fan of this record, big fan of this pressing. So yeah, maybe I'll actually get into Electric Wizard a little bit more. This is like the only release that I think I've really dug into from them. I think I've listened to a handful before, but like not super closely. I don't know, I'm always in the need for more stoner metal in my life, so yeah, well, maybe I will go back and re-listen to a lot more Electric Wizard. Speaking of artists that I actually like really need to dive into, or at least I should, I guess, because I do this dumb channel, that would probably be somebody like Elton John. This is I can't remember what year this came out. This is like an original-ish pressing, pretty close to when it first came out. This is the self-titled Elton John record. It's actually in fantastic condition. I got this from a buddy of mine's family was getting rid of a bunch of old records that they had in like collections from previous family members and such, and I went over and kind of cleared out a lot of it. And yeah, I mean, this is in like unreal condition. It's like kind of perfect in all honesty. Yeah, I'll have to give this a shot simply because it looks like it's going to play incredibly well. I can't say that about all of the records that I got from them during that little haul that I had, but this one seems like it's going to hold its own, and yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. I don't know, is it like a sin for not really listening to Elton John, or is that like normal? I don't know. Debate amongst yourselves in the comments, I guess. And actually another artist following right behind that I should probably check out, and will probably check out before I really dive into Elton John really ever. That will be somebody named Elvis Costello. Obviously I know of Elvis Costello. I just really have never listened to his music. Obviously a couple songs here and there, but like not really sat down and listened to records as a whole. We have this year's model and Armed Forces, which I'm now realizing I need to get a plastic covering on. Both records that I haven't listened to. too. Both records were ones that I picked up, like I just explained with the whole Elton John thing. That was a part of that lot. I do plan on listening to these at some point in my life. I'm gonna make it as a blanket statement as that because I just don't know when I'll get around to it. But yeah, they definitely tickle my fancy in terms of listening. So yeah, hopefully I'll get around to it at some point in the near future. Next up is a record that I've listened to a ton of times. I mean, I like basically grew up on this album. That would be Eminem, the Slim Shady LP. It's the only Eminem that I own. I would love to get the Marshall Mathers LP 1 and 2 in all honesty at some point in the future or down the pipeline, but not too upset that this is the only one that I own as of right now. I don't even remember which reissue this is at this point. It's one of the newer ones for sure, because I got it brand new when I bought it, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it's just on black vinyl. It is a gatefold, but there's nothing too spectacular about the packaging itself. I would like to maybe see a deluxe version at some point, and I'm sure there is one. I just don't know if it's something that I would actually be willing to spend a lot of money on, but I do adore that album. I mean, how can you not? I mean, if you grew up in the same age range that I am, even a little bit older, this record like fucking raised you. Or at least if you have the same shitty brain damage that I do, where this is something that you enjoy. Now, we have two here from local Philadelphia legends, or maybe not legends, but I think they're legends. That would be Empath. We have Active Listening Night on Earth and Visitor here. If you would like to learn more about Empath, I would go check out my video that I made on them for So You're Interested In, where I did break down their discography and give you some good starting off points. Both of these records are talked about very heavily in that video. But yeah, I mean, these are just really fun, I don't know, dance punk, whatever you want to call it, synth punk, something along those lines, no wave in some ways. Yeah, they do a lot of different stuff on these records, and I really like their tone, everything about the environment surrounding the music itself. The atmospheric nature is just, it kind of digs into your skin in a good and bad way at the same time. Yeah, these guys make killer noise rock, and you would be a fool not to check them out if that's something that you're into. Both of these are standard pressings. Came too late for Active Night to get the cool one. And for Visitor, I just wasn't too sure if I was going to like the record when it first came out, and it turned out I did, but I did not pull the trigger on any exclusives before it happened. Moving along, we're going to get into some harder stuff here, as we do have this split from End and Cult Leader. This thing kicks ass. What can I say? If you're into this realm of music, then you probably know about this already, and if you don't, well, you're fucking up, because End are one of the best in the game right now, and Cult Leader do a hell of a job keeping up with them on this split. This was the closed casket exclusive, or one of the closed casket exclusives, because I know this was also put out with the help of Death Wish. Yeah, badass, man. Badass, look at that. Yeah, it's a killer split. Really, really good split. I don't listen to it all the time because it is only a split, and I hate getting up and changing a record a million times, but this is the lot that I made for in my life, so here I am. I would check this out. I absolutely would if you're into super heavy hardcore and shit like that. And if you thought that that was the only End record that I'd be talking about here, well, you would be sorely mistaken, because I also have Splinters from an Ever-Changing Face. God damn, I love this album. I can't like really qualify or quantify exactly why I love it so much, but man, when this thing hits, it just fucking hits. This is like, oh god, when it does what it needs to do, it's like drugs coursing through my veins. It feels fantastic. Yeah, adore this album. Really big fan of End, in all honesty. I mean, I want their other record as well, and I'm sure there are other releases that I could pick up at some point, but for now, this is just what I have, and we're gonna work with it for the time being. I do love this part about it though. So this is a die cut cover. I believe that's how you say it, or whatever. I don't know. I'm bad with technical terms. But yeah, you get all these alternate photos, or alternate covers that you can kind of like slide in and out and decide which one you want to use. All these fucked up looking skulls. Looks fucking sick. Yeah, 4 options to choose from. Kind of cool if you ask me. Good little touch. I do prefer this one, but that's just me. And then the record itself is looking mighty fine on this clear, black, blood red kind of splatter all over the place. Oh yeah, that looks like a fucking crime scene to me. Oh yeah. Anyway, I hope that End puts out something new soon, outside of that split at least, because man, I'm itching for a new End record. And I know a lot of those guys are doing Counterparts stuff right now, so I understand that they're probably not writing, but I don't know. Counterparts is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I really love that record from last year, as you would be able to see in my end of year list from 2022. But at the same time, I would sacrifice another Counterparts record if we get another End record. 100% I would make that sacrifice. Going from one end of the musical spectrum to another, we have ourselves Explosions in the Sky, The Rescue. This is a weird release. I have actually yet to spin this. This is actually still in the original shrink. It is on orange vinyl. This is a reissue that just came out last year or something like that, maybe 2 years ago. I don't know, I found it for like unbelievably cheap on like Amazon. I think it was like $10 or something like that. I'm like, you know, fuck it. This is a great band. I might as well pick this up. I would like to spin it at some point soon. And like I said, I know it's a weird release because it was like all recorded in like a day or written in a day or something along those weird lines, where it was more of a challenge for themselves when they decided to record it. It wasn't like going into a natural album cycle. They kind of took themselves out of it and really challenged themselves. So yeah, I haven't listened to this album since like 2017 maybe. So I'm kind of excited to dive back in at some point. Hopefully, once I get back into a post-rock kind of mood. Yeah, maybe I'll report back at some point and let you know my thoughts on this one. But regardless, I'm happy to have it for like $10. This is, it's really good post-rock, like I said, good atmospheric music. So, I don't know, I'll toss it on in the background while I do some editing, probably while editing this. Now, to close out this video, I know it's a little bit shorter than usual, but that's because the next band that we'll be getting into, starting off with volume 22, is the Flaming Lips, and I have a decent amount of their stuff, so I felt weird cramming everything into the end of this video as opposed to just opening everything up with that next one. So yeah, that's just how we're going to do things, but we are going to close out still on a very good note, as we have two Father John Misty records to talk about here. That's right, it's Chloe in the Next 20th Century and God's Favorite Customer. I've talked about Pure Comedy and the Live at Third Man Records one that I own, so we're just going to talk about these two real quick. Starting off with God's Favorite Customer. This came out a couple years back. I picked this up used maybe like a couple of months ago at my local record store. Very happy to see it there for a cheaper price than the usual like $20 to $25, because it's a single LP, man. I don't understand why all of Father John Misty stuff goes for like $30. It really sucks. I wish it was just like $5 cheaper and I'd probably buy it like every time. But still, this is nice. It is just on black vinyl. Nothing too spectacular about it, but I was glad to pick it up for like $15 or whatever. It's a solid release. Definitely not my favorite from Father John Misty, but a couple good bangers on here. Absolutely. Mr. Tillman's awesome. Same thing, obviously, with the title track, God's Favorite Customer. Yeah, there are just a couple really good songs on here that are worth checking out if you're into Father John Misty. And then, yeah, we do have Chloe in the Next 20th Century. This is the record that he put out last year. Wasn't like crazy about it, but I thought there were a couple really good songs on here. Really enjoyed Goodbye, Mr. Blue, Q4, Only a Fool, The Next 20th Century. Yeah, I don't know. There are a couple really good songs on here. This is a gatefold LP because it is a double LP. I love the artwork, the minimalistic black and white. Everything looks great. And this should just be on black vinyl. I don't think I picked up any of the special ones. I know they had a blue variant. Nope, just black. Fine by me. This is not my favorite of his releases, so I don't really need to spend the extra amount of money on something limited if, you know, I don't really care that much. But yeah, Father John Misty, if you want to learn more about him, I have made a video for So You're Interested In on him. Go check it out. I mean, he's a pretty big artist, so you might have already heard of him already. Wouldn't surprise me. But hey, if you haven't, no shame in that. Go check out my video and find out good starting points to get into him. But that will wrap up this volume of Stacks of Wax. I hope you enjoyed, and maybe you found some records that you had never heard of before. Maybe these are some records that you have in your collection as well. Maybe you have like cooler variants than I do because I'm a poor loser. Whatever it is, you can go down to the comment section and let me know what you have, what you don't have, what you want. I don't know, just speak your mind. Let's talk some vinyl. It's always fun. Be sure to subscribe for more videos just like this about once a month-ish, depending on how much I am able to get done, film, record, put it out, blah, 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 all that boring shit. With that being said, I will be recording volume 22 like immediately after this because I got some free time in my hands and I might as well use it to its fullest extent. By subscribing, you help the show out. You also become notified when I put up new episodes of So You're Interested In, where I do go through, break down an artist's discography variety and show you really good starting off points to get into them. Like I mentioned, I have done some from artists in this very video, including Father John Misty, Empath, I'm sure I'm forgetting something else, Explosions in the Sky I've done before. But yeah, if you're looking for new music, this is the channel to be subscribed to, so please do that. Also send it out to any of your friends who might be interested as well. Help the channel grow. I really appreciate it. But yeah, that about does it. I thank you very much for tuning in. Just make sure to go out and support your local record store if you're able to, along with the local artists in your area. And well, until I see you next time, happy listening.